Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon also from my side. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm going to present you how we gather actionable insights from our data and how we share that with our stakeholders. Before that, shortly to us, just 1 second, who we are. The Vienna Tourist Board is a non-profit organization. We're established in 1955. Currently, we have 140 employees. We are a very classical DMO. We do destination management and destination marketing. And we have a clear mandate from our city council. Those tasks involve representing the tourist interests of the city, promote the destination worldwide, assist visitors during their stay, but also prior to their stay, but also promote an understanding among local residents for the I'll go a bit closer. Okay. And promote an understanding among the local population for the tourism industry, and also contribute to tourism measures raised by the city of Vienna. For you to get an idea about the size of tourism in Vienna, we welcomed 5.3 million visitors from January to September this year in Vienna, and registered approximately 12.5 million bed nights. City of Vienna has been ranking among top 10 European city destinations. When it comes to our markets, we have 82% international bed nights. Our main market is still Austria, although it's a very small country. Thus, Germany is also equally important for us, followed by the United States, Italy, and the United Kingdom. When it comes to value added, we were talking about this a lot. We're doing also analyzing also the economic contribution. About 4.8% of tourism is accounting about 4.8% of Vienna's gross regional product. This is not very much. But when you can see it, how much it is, how much Vienna's contribution is to the Austrian total tourism-related induced economic impact, it's about 20%. And so it's the second most important federal state in Austria when it comes to tourism. What we are focusing on, we call it sometimes the 2 Cs, convention and culture. Vienna is among the major meeting destinations, ranking #1 at ICA and #2 at UIA. But also culture is equally important for us. It's within our DNA, 79% of our guests travel to Vienna mainly for cultural reasons. What is guiding us in our working? It's mainly our visitor economy strategy. We've been published in 2019 under the leitmotif Shaping Vienna. It was prior to the pandemic, but it has shown to be very relevant also during the pandemic. What we call in this strategy is to not to ask anymore what the city can do for more tourism, but rather what tourism can do for the city. Here our focus is how can tourism contribute to the qualities of cities. This means to the quality of life of residents, but also quality of experience of the visitors and quality of place of the destination itself. So what is the core? In essential, we're trying to balancing out the interests of the residents and also the interests of the visitors. For this strategy, we have set ourselves 6 KPIs, 2 in an economic dimension, 2 in an ecologic dimension, and 2 in a social dimension. As I was mentioning before, we have very high visitor satisfaction, very high resident satisfaction. This is very important for us to focus also on this social aspect and to continue to have a high rating of satisfaction from both of them. This gave you a bit of a glimpse on what we are measuring, but underlying we have a relatively broad monitoring approach. We're having various indicators and we're doing this in order to have a reliable databases for decision making for ourselves, but we also aim to share those insights to our stakeholders and to have a common understanding on how the destination is developing. And what we have been doing intensely in recent times is to use those data and use those insights in order to promote cooperation with our stakeholders. We have been starting small. So as Sergio was saying, doing it step by step, but it helped us a lot to set up this process. And how does this process currently look like? We present the results of our insights to the representatives of the City of Vienna. This has the aim to create awareness among our stakeholders and to bring everyone at the table. We have created a platform where everyone can join in and discuss how they see the topics. Because we chose also representatives of the City of Vienna because we know tourism is interdisciplinary, especially in the city destinations. There are various factors that impact also the development of the city and the development of tourism. Moreover, we have created a smaller group of what we call gatekeepers. We are meeting them regularly. These are representatives of the City of Vienna that support our agenda. So they can help us identifying who else do we have to have on board, who else do we have to talk to in order to bring those topics where we might see challenges or where we can see any improvement to the floor. Moreover, we are actively also trying to participate in working groups that might not have a specific tourist focus, but where we see synergies with topics we have identified. Because sometimes what happens is that the tourism perspective is lacking for certain topics, and this is what we try to manage here. What is the evidence at the basis we're using for this process? It's mainly the residents' attitude to tourism. So we have been doing this quite a long time. I think the first study we did in 2006. We did it then every couple of years, but since 2017 we're doing it monthly. We're asking every month 300 Viennese what their opinion is on tourism, where they can see any challenges, and reach to 3,600 interviews per year. But we also look at the visitor feedback, because as we said before, for us it's very important to balance out the interest between locals and the visitors. And what should not be neglected is also the topic of the international benchmarking. We are looking at other destinations, what they are doing. We want to orientate ourselves also on international standards. And so we are very glad to be part of several networks and join in for exchange. So on the basis of this evidence, this helps us a lot to identify topics where we need to maybe go also deeper in the monitoring, but where maybe there are also some challenges we might need to address. This helps us a lot in the discussion with our stakeholders. And I have picked one example. This is the topic of short-term rental. It might not be the standard problem or challenge for most of the destinations, but urban destinations might for them it might sound familiar. Here we have really the case that we have identified this topic early on. Currently, we have approximately 10,000 listings of short-term rentals in the city of Vienna, and what we aim here for is to create a fair sharing economy, so to say, not to ban the topic of short-term rental, but to create it in a fair way. This has mainly to do also with to leveling the playing field. That of course there is a similar situation between, or similar requirements for those accommodation providers than others. But the major topic is more the impact it has on the housing market. So for Vienna, it's very important to have, or the social housing system is very important, and the city has invested a lot on this in the last decades. So it's it would be not very beneficial to support short-term rentals, especially in the social housing area. And here we have a very good example on where we have feedback from residents on this topic, but also where we have feedback or where we have a lot of data on where those short-term rentals are offered, how many there are, how many overnights there are generated. And this helped us a lot in the discussion to objectify this topic. And also it was also the basis for a lot of measures that have already been taken in the city of Vienna. Yeah, and to conclude a bit, what are our learnings? It's very important to have very good databases, and of course we have various indicators, but of course we know also that some of them in certain issue areas, some indicators are lacking. What's important for us has been not only to share the results extensively with our partners, but to make these insights really a vehicle for cooperation. And what has been proved valuable for us is to collaborate with our gatekeepers, mainly in order to start doing it, so to start small. But also, if you're starting small, it's very important to make this process of stakeholder involvement a priority. Otherwise, it will stick, or it will stop with the dashboards and not go beyond. Okay, thank you very much.